In this exercise tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through how you can do the body weight step up exercise. I'm going to be going through progressions, regressions, and also some of the key mistakes I see when people are doing this exercise. Now, firstly, when it comes to the body weight step up, the number one question I get is how high should the step up be? Now, when it comes to step ups, of course, the higher the step up, the more range of motion required, the harder it is. So make sure that you're nailing all the fundamentals and the form that I'm going to teach you before you start progressing a smaller step up to a larger step up. Now, as a trainer, what I would do is I would actually progress the step up height before I start using things like dumbbells with my clients. So I'd get the form and technique right and then start adding in dumbbells. If you don't have a higher step up, whether you're using one in the gym or using something at home to replicate this exercise, of course, at that point, because you've got no alternative to a higher step up, then I would start adding in something like dumbbells at that point. Now, I've got a step up in front of me and I've got a step up to the side. I'm going to show you both front on and side on when doing this exercise. So firstly, when it comes to start position, feet hip width apart, my toes are a couple of inches away from the step up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one foot on the step up. So I've placed my left foot here on the step up. I still want both my feet pointing completely forwards. And what I want you to do is have a nice neutral position with the back. So nice and upright. You can either be bolt upright like I am, or you can very slightly lean forwards. When I say slightly lean forwards, I do mean incredibly slightly. So from this position, you want to make sure the whole of your foot is on the step up. If it's not, if you've got the heel off or the toes off, you've got the potential to cause the step up to tip, and you absolutely don't want to be injuring yourself during the exercise. Now, so you can see front on, my right foot here is in contact with the step up. I'm now going to straighten my right knee, keeping myself nice and upright. And what I want to do is initiate the movement from my right leg. That even means when I'm coming down, the pace in which I come down from the step up is dictated by my right knee and my right leg. So when I'm coming down, I don't want to just drop, I want to lower under control. So one more time. So my foot here, left one, couple of inches away from the step up, right foot is completely on the step up, straighten right knee and come back down under control. Now the first cheat I see people do is the knee starts to dip in. Now if the knee dips in, what's going to happen is, one, we're not going to get the same activation through the glute when we do the exercise, and two, we're going to have a little bit too much pressure on the inside of the knee. So if you're doing a high step up and you find the knees doing this when you're doing the exercises and you can't quite correct it when you're doing your repetitions, that's when I would take the exercise and regress it to a lower step up, then start to get better at that and then bring in a higher step up at that point. You can then add in weights, try to get as good as possible with the lower step up before then retrying that high step up. If you are doing this and you find yourself rocking forwards, that's another cheat, unfortunately. So rocking forwards, we will do it slightly. We will come forwards slightly when we do the exercise. We're trying to minimize it. So there'll be a slight amount where your body comes forwards and your hips want to help the exercise. If that's excessive, like so, you're going to find that actually you won't be feeling the target muscles, the glutes, the quadriceps, your hip flexors. You won't be feeling those as much when you do the exercise. When you then start to make the exercise a little bit more strict and slower, you should really be starting to feel your target muscles. Now, of course, when you get to the end phases of this exercise, you can then start coming down at a certain tempo. So let's say you step up, you might want to do 3 seconds down. So step up, and then from this position, to put a lot more emphasis on the hip and knee, You can bring one leg back and 1, 2, 3, whilst trying to keep that knee straight. So ultimately, the more we're putting emphasis on tempo, the harder it's going to be, the harder the body has to work to lower under control. That's how to do a couple of variations of step-ups. And of course, you'd repeat that for your desired amount of sets and repetitions on both sides.